Hey girl, real quick. I'm so excited about the new habit-based fitness app I just launched, and I want to invite you to come check it out because I know it will finally help you stay consistent and see and feel results. The programming was created with you in mind. Come get a free 7-day trial inside of the Training for Life app at trainingforlifeapp.com. I can't wait to see you in there. Okay, let's get into the show. Hey girl, if you're done with dieting and the constant starting and stopping of your healthy habits because, well, life, and you'd rather find a way to train for life instead, then you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Emily, habit and fitness coach and midlife boy mom. I've gone from frustrated dieter to now consistently and confidently living a healthy lifestyle, following the habit hacking systems that I'm now going to teach you. Think of this as atomic habits for women. I'm now helping other midlife moms like you feel and look good in their favorite leggings through all seasons of life, following my habit-based fitness programming. No more dieting, my friend, just training for life. So are you ready to habit hack your health? Then let's do this. You're listening to episode 284 of Habit Hack Your Health. Hey girl, welcome back to the show. You know, we chat a lot here on the podcast and inside of my Training for Life app about the benefits of strength training. And I'm sure you're hearing a lot of buzz about that online via social media, different influencers you follow. We're going to break down so super simple today the power of strength training, just not for this season of life that you are in, but for life, coming from that training for life mentality. I want to continue this conversation today with my friend, Niki Sims of Barbell Logic. So let me tell you about Niki real quick. She is the CEO of Barbell Logic, overseeing the client and staff experience for their coaching and software services. She's passionate about helping people get to know the stronger versions of themselves. With over 10 years of barbell coaching and training experience, she knows what it takes to program for life, fine-tune form to maximize training stimulus, and provide support to continue to choose strength over weakness. And that's not just for physical, that's mental, emotional, spiritual, all of the above. Before we get into this conversation, though, I think we have to really reframe our mindset and change our mindset when it comes to lifting weights. We need to be following a program that emphasizes periodization or phasing every 4 weeks in order to help you not plateau and to continue building more muscle mass. Sounds easy enough, right? But I think the issue that happens, especially for us around midlife, especially as moms, is that we want to see results right away. And many times that means you want to watch the number on the scale go down and you want to reach that magical weight we all want to reach. You know what I'm talking about, right? Or you try following a program, but then you have a crazy season of life, where life just gets in the way and you're not able to stay consistent. When it comes to strength training, this is a long-term game. It's about training for life and the multiple benefits, both physical and mental, you can gain as you're on your own strength training journey. Now, Niki is going to share more about the benefits and habits to help you get started, but I want to help you change your mindset first and think of strength training like your 401k. I love this analogy Niki gives us, and it kind of just frames up this whole episode for you. So lifting weights is like contributing to your 401k, right? It takes time, patience, and consistency, but with every effort, you're building something that pays off, right? With strength training, it's actual strength, confidence, and empowerment. Just as you wouldn't expect to retire with a solid 401k after just one deposit, you can't expect to get strong and body recomposition yourself within one workout or overnight, right? The key is the long term investment. And that's why we come here with a habit based fitness approach, because we know life is going to be lifing sometimes. It's that training for life mentality and sculpting out your body and building muscle, which, as Niki mentions in this episode, is the tissue of longevity. Oh, I love that. So let's go chat with Niki about how you can start investing now in your body and get long term benefits. And as always, make sure to stick to the end of the episode. I'll have my 3 biggest takeaways for you. Okay, let's go talk to Nick Sims. Okay, friends, thank you so much again for tuning in to Habit Hack Your Health. I'm so excited about today's conversation. It's going to really help you feel stronger, probably from the inside out. Let's welcome Niki Sims from Barbell Logic. Niki, thank you so much for coming
Hey,
on.
hi. It's so good to be here. And yeah, thanks for listening. I always thank you for creating this space to learn. And I just really appreciate people like you who create something that you can take action on, because that is such a thing that makes you feel more powerful. So
For
yeah, I
sure,
just wanted
for
to thank
sure.
you.
Oh, you bet. You bet. Right back at you. So, well, Niki, the first question I ask every guest is, what is your favorite habit hack? Like, what is saving your life right now?
It's going to the gym. Honestly, it's my favorite thing. It's a non-negotiable. It's just ingrained in my total behavior. It's like I look forward to it all the time. I feel good when I go. And I know that's kind of a big one, and I have smaller ones that support it, but making sure that I have the space in my calendar and that I know what to do to enjoy it, it's just the best.
It's like a therapy session.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure. You always feel better on the other side. That's a guarantee.
Yeah, you can like 0 times where I've been like, oh, I'm just really annoyed that I went to the gym. Why did I do that to myself?
Why did I do that to myself? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, and I would agree with that totally as well. So, well, let's get to know you a little bit better. Can you briefly just share a little bit about your story, really what has led you to what you're doing today, who you are, who you
Sure.
help? Just give us all the things.
Oh, thanks. Well, I get to run a company or help run a company. We do strength coaching online. We also have been developing software to help people coach more people. But I started off like in my early fitness loving days, going to the gym after school, like after high school. I would drive myself to the gym and I just loved being there. I'd spend time doing whatever. I had no idea what I was doing, but I knew I loved being there. And that eventually developed into getting into CrossFit. That turned into opening up a CrossFit gym after I left my totally wonderful job that I got a degree in construction management. And I was like, no, I don't like this life anymore. Let me go be a CrossFit coach. So I did that, drank the Kool-Aid, and from there, CrossFit, has kind of a lifespan. You can only go 3 directions, get hurt, turn into a professional CrossFitter, or really get into strength training. And I totally went into strength training. And that turned into being a professional barbell coach in person and now online. And for Barbell Logic, I do HR and client experience. So, you never know where you're going to turn out construction management into a strength coach and HR person.
Yeah. I feel like most fitness people were like, I really wish I would have figured this out like a long time ago before I went and got this random degree that I'm not using. But same, like, you fall in love with it and then you want to be able to help other people, which is exactly what you're
It's
doing.
addicting.
Oh my gosh, it's a chemical reaction in your body and you're like,
Yeah.
what? Oh my gosh, other people need to feel this. And this is exactly what you do for the folks that follow along with you. But today
hmm
I want to talk specifically about strength traiing for women. I
Yes.
chat with a lot of women in their late 30s, early 40s. I'm personally 42, and like the past 2 years it's like what's going on? Like
hmm
our bodies are changing and what we used to do just isn't working, and it's really frustrating, and we have a lot to
Yeah.
unravel in our heads as far as seeing strength training as a way to, like I like to say, train for life. But let's just start with the basics and we'll kind of expand from there, Nikki. I want to know your opinion on how strength training can help us really navigate this particular stage of our lives and why it's so important.
So, yeah, very, very important topic. It's strength training is a way to build muscle. It is the way to build muscle. And muscle is the tissue of longevity. And it's how you're going to have a more positive relationship with your body. It's how you're going to help regulate your blood sugar. It's how you're going to maintain lean body mass instead of building more and more body fat over time. And it's how you're going to be able to enjoy your life when
Mm.
we're in our 50s, 60s, when we no longer have as much estrogen and time as we used to. And now, if you go into that part of your life with the investment of muscle, you get to do so much more. And muscle, I really believe, allows you to say yes to things instead of having to say no to things as we get older and older. And that's, so important if you enjoy your life. You get to really enjoy it more fully.
That's so good. So good. So that it allows you to say more yeses to things
Yes,
when you're
more
building
fun.
muscle, more
Yeah,
fun, more,
more
oh my
time,
gosh, yes, all
more
the things.
bikinis.
That's well, I look at my grandmother, my mom's mom. She passed away a few years ago, and she had such bad arthritis, and it got really hard
Mm,
physically for her to do
hmm.
things. And I see my mom trending down that path too. I'm always like, Mom, here's a strength training program. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a coach. Here is something you can do. And she's just like, well, I don't want to get bulky. And
Yeah.
we have to really switch that mindset that strength training is going to get us bulky or that it's just for like big, beefy bodybuilding people. Like you said, it is the key to longevity or, just getting yourself off the floor, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like a fall in your 60s, 70s is sometimes a death sentence. I know it's totally grim, but it puts you in the hospital. You can't really bounce back from that. And that could be the end of your independence. And
Mm,
when you train, you are creating the adaptation that your body needs to keep your bones strong.
mhm.
Very, very important to be able to live on your own for as long as we can. There's going to be an end point, but as long as
Sure,
we can,
sure.
get to do what you
Well,
want to do.
Well, I love your analogy of strength training as like a health 401k for
Yeah.
women. Like, you guys sent over those notes, and I was like, yes, that's such a good analogy.
Because it's, when you're building your 401k, you don't put your entire paycheck into it every month. You put in a little bit all the time, over time, and by the time you really need it, it's there for you. And so this is why your message is so great. It's a habit. Like
Mm,
investing in your 401k is a habit that is just built in. And when you strength train for longevity, it's something that you can recover from. It's something that keeps you motivated. And it's something that when circumstances are more challenging, like when we're dealing with less estrogen, less energy, feeling like a crazy person, we have all of the habits in place that we just have to say, you know what? Go back to my habits. It's okay. I don't have to change everything. I don't have to be a whole new person. I'm just going to go back to what I know works. And you just keep doing it over and over. And then, when you're 60, you're going to be like, okay, I got my muscle. I'm good.
and you keep doing it because, like you said, it becomes a habit, right? When you have your
Yes.
401k, it's a habit to deposit money and invest in your 401k. Once you start strength training, that becomes a habit and you just automatically do it because you know the
Yep.
long-term benefits. You're feeling it, you're seeing it as well.
Yeah. And you have moments where it's a huge accomplishment, like where it feels like a wonderful outcome, but there's never an end. It's an infinite game.
Mm-hmm. Well, I love kind of like I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, strength training just doesn't make you feel like strong. Like, look at me, I got muscles, I'm changing my body composition. But I feel like it helps you so much mentally too. Wouldn't you agree?
Mm-hmm. It's it's space it's really just yours. And I know as a coach, you help clients create this for themselves, but you have your body. It's only yours. No one else can mess with it. Like that's yours. You're going to have it forever. Like what can you do to get on the same team as it? Instead of being mad at it or wishing it were different or being really frustrated, how can you be good with where you're at in that moment, but want to go a little bit further? And gym time is a space where you can say, I'm enough. I don't have to be everything for everybody. I can do this for myself. And you know what? I'm going to do a little bit more next time. And you get to really create a really fun space to feel powerful and to feel confident and to not beat yourself up, because I know we women love to do that to ourselves.
Oh, for sure. Well, I love the
Yeah.
analogy you just gave, Nikki. Like, be on your own team, your body's own
Yeah.
team versus like constantly fighting against it. Like,
It's hard. I know I've felt that way where all of a sudden I'm just like, man, I don't really like how I'm looking. I don't like how I'm feeling. And I get mad. I'm just
yeah.
like, that's
Oh,
not
yeah.
nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I never hear my husband doing that. Like, he's a
Yeah.
triathlete and marathon runner. And when he's off season, like, he gains weight and he's just like, oh, look at me, I gained some weight. And I'd be like, oh my
What is that
gosh.
life like?
It's
Because
the way our brains are just wired, unfortunately.
yeah.
Well, for anyone listening who's like, okay, Nikki, I need to start strength training, but it's really intimidating. I just don't know
hmm
where to start. Where would you suggest them getting started?
I think you need to find a coach. Find a
Mm.
coach who you can work with in person, find a coach who you can work with remotely, but get a co-pilot. Like, the longer I've just worked and the longer I've lifted, I have found it to be very valuable to outsource certain things. This is something that I personally love to outsource because then I can take the pressure off of needing to know, am I doing this perfectly? What should I be doing differently? What kind of variations of the squat should I do? How many reps should I do? How many sets? Like, I heard this over here, Chat GPT says I should do this. This is what Kim Kardashian is doing. And it's just like, it's too much. And so get a strength coach, because they will be able to take your goals, take your history, watch your movement, and give you what you need next time to improve.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really helpful when it's personalized to you, because I don't need the same movement corrections as someone else does. And, my 45-year-old client needs something different than my 25-year-old client.
Mm-hmm.
But you're able to take it in and know that it's exactly what you need for you. And they'll help you do it safely, give you the right weights to increase by, help you account for what equipment is available. And they just remove so many unknowns and make it doable. So I think getting a coach is one of the best things you can do.
Well, I think it's really cool when, and just speaking from like a coach, when you're able to educate a woman on strength training and seeing the light bulb go
Yeah,
off for
it's so fun.
her. It's
Yes.
so cool. Well, and sometimes I think we take for granted. I was talking to a long-term client. I was just talking about progressive overload and what we were going to do in
Yeah.
her next phase. And she was like, what does that mean? And I'm like, oh, sorry. I'm just like speaking coach language here. But I was like, this is what progressive overload looks like for you, why we're doing it, what this next phase looks like. And like you said, working with a coach will help you versus, because I think a lot of times maybe women have experience where they go into the gym, or maybe just working out from home is the only accessible thing for them right now, and working out with dumbbells. And they're picking up 5, 10 pound weights and doing the same dang bicep curls and
hmm
shoulder presses and squats,
hmm
and they're wondering why strength training isn't working for them.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, ladies, you are way stronger than you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need to tap into that because it is a freaking good place to be. But you have to learn how to push yourself, and you have to fuel yourself to be able to push yourself. Like, strength
Mm-hmm.
training is about building tissue. It's about learning how to eat protein. It's about learning what you need to do to recovery. It's about learning how to hold back a little bit so that you can do more next time.
Mm-hmm.
And we're so used to, like, let me just do a bunch of cardio, let me get smaller, let me eat less for this. And this is different. Like, when you build muscle, you actually learn how to eat to support a body that is
Mm-hmm.
physical and can respond to the work. And then you tap into this place, like, and this is what I think, what came to mind when you said about the light bulb switching, where you're just like, oh my God, I never thought I could squat 135 pounds. And wait, now I want to squat 185 pounds. And before, like, you would have walked into a gym, seen someone doing that and been like, no, that's not for me at all. Like, take me
Totally.
to the machines. And you
Yeah.
just meet this new person. It's so fun.
Oh, it's the coolest thing ever. Well, and like
Yeah.
you said, like ladies, we're a lot stronger than what we think we are, and we're not giving
Yes.
ourselves enough credit. And we promise you, you're not going to get bulky. You're just going to, your body composition is going to change, and your mentality
Yeah.
and confidence in yourself is going to change as well. Now, okay, so now we're like, okay, Niki, I'm not feeling intimidated. I'm going to work with the coach. We're going to go to the gym. I'm going to start this progressive overload program. I'm going to get a barbell and just like figure out basic functional movement. What are some habits that help you stay sustainable with your routine with the gym? Because it's one thing, and this is why we have the whole podcast. It's one thing to be like, okay, go lift some
Yeah.
weights. And they're like, okay,
What does that look like for
life.
months? What does it look like for years? Yeah.
Yeah, like, so what are some habits you personally do to ensure you get to the gym, or thinking from someone new to going to the gym?
I'd say, gosh, these might be more mindset habits or mindsets,
Sure.
but learn how to prioritize. That is a skill that you're gonna need. That's something that you need to hone when you want to train for life, because there will be periods during the year where you can't put as much of yourself into the gym, and that's okay. The important thing is that it doesn't go away. You
Mm,
turn down the volume knob, you turn down how many times you're going to the gym, but you just acknowledge that this is how much I can spend in the gym today. And the habit around that is still, barricading your schedule. That is your gym time. So looking ahead, figuring out what's coming for me this week, what's coming for me this month, as much as you can. I know it's really hard to predict
yeah.
that, but protect that boundary of gym time, plan ahead, and then prioritize, like, what's going on with my family this summer, what's
Mhm.
coming up over the winter time, when am I going to be traveling? When
Mhm.
I'm traveling, can I get to the gym? Do I want to work on this goal right now? Maybe lifting gets more important, maybe lifting gets less important.
Sure.
But prioritizing is how you do this for the long run. It's how you maintain your 401k.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's important to point out, because you will go through seasons of your life. Like, I know the summer is really challenging for me because my boys are home and we're out running around. They're teenagers, but they still rely on their mom for that. We're helping plan stuff and go here
Yeah,
and there, and my schedule's thrown off. So I'm not getting to the gym as much as I'd like to, or I'm not spending as much time there. My boys are older now, where they're going to the gym with me and they're working out
no,
together
I
while
love
I'm
that.
doing my own thing, which I'm like, okay, this is great. But when they were smaller, it was like, well, I just got to figure out, like, can
Yeah.
I just like go for like a walk today with my weighted vest? That might be all the
Yes.
capacity I have today, and that's okay. My
Yeah.
results, my progress is not all going to totally fall apart, because for these 2 weeks it's bananas and they're here
Yeah.
all the time, right?
Yeah.
And I think it really goes into that all or nothing mentality, right? We
Yeah.
have as women, it's like, well, I need to be in the gym, following my plan. Oh my gosh, summer just hit, or oh my gosh, I was sick for a couple of weeks.
Hmm.
I'm just throwing in the towel now. I just
Yeah.
can't do it, right? There's
Yeah.
a middle ground.
Yeah. There has to be, because there's only so much of you to go around. And I know you take it upon yourself as a mom and as someone who creates content. Like, I know you wake up and you want to bring 1000%. And sometimes 1000% just looks a little bit different. And that's okay.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
I saw a quote the other day. It said, if you only have 80% to give, congratulations, you just gave 100% today.
Yeah.
If that's all
Yes.
the capacity you had today, great.
Yeah.
And you gave
Yeah.
100%. And I think it's just reframing that in your mind as well. And honestly, the more you strength train, the more you'll have that mental strength and be able to help
Hmm.
keep building that 401k as well. So I love that so
Yeah.
much. Well,
Yeah.
Niki, any other pieces of advice or words of encouragement or habits you would want to share with our audience to help encourage them in
Yeah.
this stage of life to get in the gym, lift heavy, and just see what happens?
I would say it's okay if the workout looks boring on paper. This is kind of a warning that the workout is probably going to look a little boring on paper,
Mm,
but that it's probably better because it means that you're being really efficient and effective with the muscles that you're using and your time.
mm,
And don't fall into the trap of long lists of exercises and, something that's going to take you supersetting all around the gym. There's a time and place for things, but
Sure.
don't be afraid of the boring and give
Mhm.
it time. It takes a long time to grow muscle,
Mhm.
but you're going to start seeing it. It's going to be really fun. So I think the main message here is boring is okay. Do something that is simple and that is hard, and you're going to really surprise
Mhm.
yourself.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's for
Hmm.
sure. I love that so much. We overcomplicate it sometimes in our heads, or we think like, oh my gosh, I have to have this huge calorie burn and like
Yeah.
sweat dripping. And there's like 20-minute lift sessions I'll do where I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of sweaty. I didn't burn a lot of calories, but holy moly, the next day you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And like that's what you need. Like
Yes.
training is more, starts to be more about, especially in this age. How much can I do and still recover from? Like, we don't
Mhm.
even need to talk about the R word when we're in our 20s. It just happens.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but 30s and 40s, like, recovery is the variable, just as
Mhm.
important as like weight on the bar, number of reps, and how often you're going in. Like, what can you do and still recover from? And that's a big one. It doesn't, and like, that means it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to get really sweaty. You don't have to be sore.
Mhm.
Yeah, you got to do some work that was a challenge. And then you need to eat your protein. Repeat.
It's simple.
Yeah.
Easier said than done. Easier
Yep.
said than done, but it really can be that simple if you just stay
Yeah.
patient and think, okay, this is just my lifestyle and what I'm doing for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You can change up the lifts, you can change up the gym you're going to, the time. I mean, so many different ways
Totally.
to make it work in your life. But like we said earlier, this is about training for life. And I hope everyone after this conversation not just is encouraged to get in the gym, lift heavy and feel stronger, but also just know how it's going to change you from the inside out, literally.
Yeah. You really start to be on your own team and
Mhm.
have fun in the gym. And it's not a punishment for eating too much. It's something that will be an asset and make you more of an asset.
Yeah. Yeah. For life.
Mm,
I love that so
yeah.
much. Well, Nikki,
Yeah.
where can everyone connect with you and find out more about you?
So you can find me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Nikki in the gym, but my name is Niki. And then it's a period between every word. So Nikki, period, in period, the period, gym.
Awesome.
It's a long one. And then at Barbell Logic, it's at barbell_logic. And also you can go to our website at barbelllogic.com. We have an amazing team of coaches. But more importantly, we have a ton of resources out there. We have a ton of videos, lots of ebooks on how to learn to lift, how to lift for the long haul, nutrition strategies. So we love to make it doable, just like you do. Like let's get you moving one step at a time.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Well, we'll make sure to link all of that in the show notes. But again,
Thank you.
Nikki, thank you so much for coming on. It was so nice chatting with
It was
you.
really nice to chat with you. Thanks for doing what you do.
Nikki, thank you so much for this conversation. I always love doing these interviews with these experts and then listening back to it as I'm editing the show to put out for you all and just gaining so much knowledge and wisdom and insight from them all over again. So, gang, make sure to head to the show notes so you can connect with Nikki. Now, as always, I always give my 3 biggest takeaways because I know you're busy. You may have listened to this episode a little bit yesterday, a little bit today. You're folding laundry, you're on the go. So, this is the Cliff Notes, if you will. So, you're able to take action today and start investing in your health via strength training like you would your 401k. So, number 1, Nikki started off this episode saying, muscle is the tissue of longevity. Ugh, I love that. Let me say it again. Muscle is the tissue of longevity. It's going to allow you, like she said, to say yes to things throughout your life. So that means increasing your bone density, having strong bones. So if you fall, girl, you're not going to break a hip, right? You're going to have more lean muscle mass versus fat. You're going to help improve your core strength, which will help with balance. And it's being able to say yes versus no due to physical limitations as you age. A lot of us are in our early 40s. You have less estrogen and you have less time and you have more brain fog, less energy. Strength training is going to help with all of that. Not just today, but it's a long-term investment. Muscle is the tissue of longevity. Yes, and amen to that. My second biggest takeaway is Niki said this, and I just loved it so much. Be on the same team of your body. Don't work against it. You guys aren't on opposing teams. Meet yourself where you're at. Okay. There's a lot of, I'm a short person. I wish I had longer legs. That's just not going to happen. And as I build more muscle mass, sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I had longer, leaner legs. But no, I have to meet myself where I'm at in my body, and I can't work against it. I'm going to be on the same team. So I'm going to build that muscle mass. I'm going to walk and help support my cardiovascular health. And I'm going to lean in and feel powerful, confident, and not beat myself up. Okay? You only have one body. God has blessed you with just one physical body. And I know He wants us to take care of it and not body shame ourselves. So be on the same team as your own body and yourself where you're at. And that leads me into my third biggest takeaway is acknowledge the season of life that you're in. Okay. It's important to push yourself, fuel yourself to help build those muscles. You might find yourself into a wonderful groove with a strength training program. Maybe you're a member of our Training for Life app, or you have my signature 12-week program, Thrive, and you're 4 weeks into the 12 weeks, you're getting ready to go into your next phase, and then boom, summer hits. Your schedule is all off kilter. Or boom, as you can hear from my voice, I've been battling sickness here in my house and my workout routine has been off. It's okay. Plan ahead and prioritize what you can do. Have a backup plan. If you're wanting to get to the gym and it's not happening today, do something movement-wise that you can do at home. You have to meet yourself with whatever season of life that you are in and know that something little is going to be better than nothing at all, and all progress is not going to be lost, okay? It doesn't have to be, like we always say, all or nothing. There is a middle ground, okay? Just keep it super simple, make it boring, like Niki said, which I think is really important so we're not overcomplicating it, and just don't get caught up in what you're hearing online and thinking you have to go 100% all the time. Sometimes you just have to meet yourself where you're at and whatever season of life that you're in. Remember, this is a long-term investment when it comes to strength training, just like a 401k, right? Every weight you lift, every workout you complete is a contribution to your future self, okay? The results are probably not going to be instant, okay? Let's just be honest. But when you look back, you'll see the strength you've built, just like watching your retirement grow, right? So I hope today changes your mindset when it comes to building muscle and seeing it as a long-term investment so you can have a beautiful life, not just now, but as you age as well. You can always grab a free 7-day trial inside of the Training for Life app at trainingforlifeapp.com if you're looking for a program to invest in yourself with some bonus habit trainings and access to me to help you and to help me really just cheer you along the way. So let's get stronger, ladies. I am so rooting for you and the investment you're making in yourself, not just for today, but for life. Let's go get stronger. I am so proud of you for listening to another episode of Habit Hack Your Health. I don't want you to just feel inspired, but I want you to go take action. To help you do that, go grab a free 7-day trial inside of the Training for Life app. This is habit-based fitness programming that you won't find anywhere else. A full fitness library with workouts programmed around what we need as midlife moms, and habit trainings and accountability community to help you stay consistent no matter what season of life that you're in. Go to trainingforlifeapp.com to start your free 7-day trial, and let's start training for life together. I'm so rooting for you, girl. I'll see you in the next episode.